Hello, my name is Carmen Houston, and I have created a book called The Brainwash Child.
This book is meant to be a helpful resource for parents and educators who want to reclaim their role as the most important voice in a child's life, to think clearly, stay curious, and grow into the people they are meant to be. The Brainwash Child, Understanding the Factors That Shape Our Youth. The Education Dilemma, Chapter 1 of 8, verse, The Home Environment.
Every story begins in the shadows before the first light appears. We often wonder when a young mind truly begins to form beliefs. It starts in the quiet moments of infancy, long before words. The world outside the window is the first textbook they read. Deep within, a complex biological architecture is taking shape. The brain is not just a blank slate, it is a sponge for data. Every interaction is a line of code being written into soul. We teach them how to treat others through our smallest acts. They watch our faces and mirror the world we show them daily. The environment we build becomes the software they will run. A peaceful home seems like the perfect place for a child. But even the calmest rooms can hold a hidden, chaotic energy. Constant noise and flickering screens become a digital tutor. In the glow of the static, a young identity begins to blur. The first classroom any of us ever enters is our own home. Silent conflicts speak much louder than any spoken lesson. They learn the language of tension before they learn to speak. We carry the heavy shadows of those who came before us now. Habits are passed down like a silent vapor through the years. We define their reality before they even know what it is, now. Life becomes a high-wire act over a vast and unknown abyss. Every step forward is dictated by the balance we provided. The dilemma is urgent as they walk the lines we laid down. Eventually, they must step out into a world of their own. They carry our legacy into the light of an unknown future.
Every child is programmed. It is a buy with Audacity. The only question is around them. Is it you? Or is it the environment you've accidentally created?
The first classroom isn't a school, it's home. If a home is filled with chaos, children often normalize that chaos. The child is trying to learn algebra in a living room that feels like a war zone. We ignore that you cannot out-teach a chaotic home environment. If a home is full of chaos, children learn that life is overwhelming.
We spend thousands of dollars on private tutors.
I didn't grow up with a homework room. Homework happened wherever there was room, usually at the kitchen table. I learned to do math with the evening news playing. My focus had to be fractured.
I learned to tune out. Back then, schools demanded discipline. The environment was rigid. Today's environment is different, driven by competing screens. Caught in the middle?
Physical space matters, but the emotional atmosphere matters more. Children remember how home felt far longer than they looked like. They remember whether they felt safe. Children are emotional Geiger counters. They cannot always articulate what is wrong, but they can feel the radiation of tension in a room. A loving home builds a resilient nervous system. It builds confidence. An emotional weather of your home becomes the internal climate of your child's mind.
Stability gives children something priceless: mental space.
Culture teaches children what success means.
We also cannot ignore socioeconomic status. Children from low-income homes often face financial instability
and crime exposure, which can lead to severe cognitive and emotional deficits.
Before the world teaches children, parents teach them how to see the world. So here's the question. If children are being programmed, who is writing the code?
We often assume wealth creates successful children. It helps, but money isn't the whole story. A wealthy, chaotic home can damage a child. A humble, loving home can build remarkable adults. Imagine trying to build a house during an earthquake. That's what childhood feels like when life is unpredictable.
Our homes have changed more than we realize over the last few decades. It used to be that a simple wooden table was the center of our world. Back then, life was loud, messy, and filled with the scent of dinner. Everything happened in the same space, under the glow of a single TV. We were distracted, yes, but we were distracted together in one room. Now the nature of our attention has shifted into something far different. The quiet focus of the past has been replaced by a constant digital hum. Before this, the world was built on rigid structures and strict silence. Teachers demanded absolute order in rooms that felt frozen in time. But that sterile environment eventually gave way to the modern home. Today, the living room is a symphony of screens and competing signals. Parents and children navigate a landscape of constant negotiation. The result is a sense of overstimulation that never seems to end. I see it in the eyes of my students, a flickering of lost connection. At the center of every house is a heart that needs to feel protected. Sometimes the world outside feels cold and unreachable behind the glass. Children are experts at sensing the unspoken weight of their surroundings. They watch the shadows of our conflicts play out against the walls. Even when we think they aren't looking, they are reading every signal. The tension in a home can be as invisible and heavy as radiation. But we have the power to change the atmosphere with a single gesture. True presence is found when we put down the world and just listen. Without that connection, the most beautiful rooms can feel empty. A child's greatest fear is failing to find the approval they crave. Inside, we all long for a mind that feels as clear as a summer sky. Yet so often, the internal world is clouded by storms of insecurity. It is up to us to reclaim the space where our families can truly grow. Choosing to be present is the most radical act a parent can perform. When we finally look at each other, the real conversation begins. The future of our homes depends on the light we choose to keep alive.
Please like and subscribe as we have more chapters coming soon. Thank you.